What's up, everybody? It's your boy DaLion here with BW Sports 1, and we are here with another episode of Combat Zone, powered by Carma Coin. Check out the cryptocurrency that gives away to charities and gives you a chance to win supercars. CarmaCoin.co today. Elite Performance 765-499-1005, where the dream of elite fitness becomes a reality. Call Zach today and get started on your journey. Revved Up Tattoos, 317-537-2667. Book your next ink therapy session with our boy Todd over at Revved Up Tattoos. You won't be disappointed. BaumBurgers, that's right, 7960 US 31 South in Indianapolis. Famous for steak burgers, but these, they are the bomb. BeeLit Organics, our girl Brittany Carreno has got all the natural products, phenomenal feeling, soaps, bath salts, candles, you name it, she's got it. BeeLit Organics.
Round one, fight.
What's up, everybody? Back again here for Combat Zone. In this episode, we have none other than Bam Bam, Ronnie Rogers. What's happening, my man? How we doing?
Oh, it's going great, brother. How you?
Hey, I am perfectly fine. I'm upright. I'm sitting, standing, walking on my own. I can't complain. She don't listen anyway.
Yeah.
So, no, they don't. No. Well, they say that about us, too.
Yeah, true story.
So give everybody at BW Sports 1 followers and listeners a little glimpse into the background of your combat sports career, because I know that you've been in MMA and you've done a bare knuckle, but let's everybody hear the background of your combat sports career.
Oh, man. Well, it all started in high school, you know, that wrestling background that I carried on. And then when I left high school, I got into jiu-jitsu for about a year before I decided, hey, let's do the MMA thing. And so I did MMA for about 14 years, I believe. Was pretty hardcore into that. I stepped away for it for probably about 2 years. And before I decided to come back and fight again for MMA, only fought once and decided, I'm kind of done, retired. And then that's when, fast forward 3 years and I stumbled upon the bare knuckle and I was like, man, I got to give that a try. Got to try.
What was it about when you watched bare knuckle and you saw it? I don't know if it was on YouTube or you were in live person. What made you kind of say, damn, yeah, let's do this?
It's just the pure raw violence and aggression to it. It doesn't get any more primal than that. I'm good friends with Joe Elmore, and that was the reason I started watching in the first place. Watching his fight, and I was like, man, that's just. I feel like I'm cut out for this. That it was made for me and my style.
Nice. Well, what was the difference? And I ask everybody this, and you hear certain of the same answers, but I kind of like to ask everybody just to kind of get their uniqueness onto it. The difference in the training coming from the MMA world to bare knuckle world. Yes, granted, they're all fights, but you're not worrying about the ground game, where it looks like your roots came from in the wrestling world. How did your training kind of transition from your MMA and jiu-jitsu and wrestling background to bare knuckle?
It was, to me, it's a night and day difference. You can take someone who is a great striker in MMA and put them in a boxing ring with someone with the same amount of experience, and they look like they don't belong. You know, it's just the two different complete sports. And so it was almost like starting completely over from day one. You know, learning the new, you know, what you can and what you can't do. Trying to the hardest thing for me is just breaking those bad habits that I had in MMA that works for MMA, but just won't do anything for you in boxing. You know, so that was the hardest part for me, is just, you know, almost learning the basics and then growing from there. You know, I feel like I'm just now scratching the surface on the, you know, the whole just pure boxing. But then on the flip side of that, it's almost a little easier just because you not have you can focus on one aspect of the game and not have to be like, okay, well, this day I gotta for my jiu-jitsu, or this day my wrestling, and this day my Muay Thai. You know, so it's, you know, there's that double-edged sword. You know.
So how many times when you were starting out training for bare knuckle did you like want to throw a leg or a knee or go for a shot on somebody and you're like, damn, no, I can't do that?
During training, none at all, really. But I'm not gonna lie, in that first bare knuckle fight, there was an instance there where I almost felt myself wanting to throw a knee, and luckily, it registered before it before it happened. But the instinct was there, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, for so many years of fighting in one aspect, or a lot of the aspects put into one, going from that to a single aspect sport, yeah, I could understand that wholeheartedly. So what are your thoughts on like some of the rules in bare knuckle that the BKFC uses, as far as, you know, your dirty boxing, your clinching and stuff like that? How do you see that being maybe a benefit for somebody coming from MMA such as yourself?
Yeah, I love it, man. It's the dirty boxing, and especially with the wrestling background, you know, those collar tie ups, that, you know, that's primary, you know, that's the go to. So it gives you that, you already have that core, that grip strength, and you know how to maneuver the body, and where you can move, and how, you know, almost like a feint in boxing. You know, you can just push or pull, and you know how to react. So you know, it helps in your benefit, especially if you have that wrestling background. In my opinion, that is something that, you know, a boxer is not going to experience. Of course, there's that clinch in boxing, but it's still what they allow in the BKFC, as far as the gripping and pushing and pulling and how long you can hold it as long as you're busy. I think it definitely benefits in someone with more of a MMA/wrestling background.
Now, was the biggest change, I guess, per se, in training just your knuckle conditioning, your hand conditioning, compared to, you know, you're having the gloves on, now you take them off, and how do you kind of transition that part of your game and your body for this sport?
Honestly, that's not something I've added into my training regimen as of yet. I've been looking into it on some of the things that you can, you know, you can purchase, as far as like the boards and the sand and stuff. But for that first fight, I didn't do any type of knuckle conditioning, or as of yet for this one either. Uh, and yeah, I felt it for sure. That, you know, that fight lasted less than 2 minutes, and I still have a little bit of issue with my knuckles on my right hand. So that's something I do plan on pulling in once I get enough more time between fights for training camp and everything, to do a little more research on and try to get these knuckles toughened up a little bit, because you can definitely feel it.
Oh, I'm sure. I can only imagine. Maybe one day before I turn 40, I'll get in there and try it. I've done the amateur spectrum of MMA, boxing, kickboxing. This is about the only thing I haven't done. You know, wrestled when I was younger. Bare knuckle looks very intriguing, and I think I may just have to try it one time in my life.
I would definitely suggest it, man. On a whole nother level, man.
Oh yeah.
It really, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it truly brought my love back for combat sports. You know, brought
What
that drive back.
Okay, well, let's kind of elaborate on this. Before that time, and before you becoming rejuvenated in the sport or in combat sports in general, what was kind of the mindset? What was going on to maybe drawing you down and saying, is this for me? Should I keep doing this? Blah blah blah. Because I know every athlete has that moment, regardless of what sport they're in. It's like, okay, should I keep going on? Is this the time for me to quit? Should I do something else? They always have there's one time in their career that they'll have maybe the doubts or the just a different feel to them, and say the love is just not there as much. What was it for you?
Well, the love for competition never left. Like if I could have just, sat on the couch for months and then climbed in the cage, that would have been one thing. But my motivation to train just kind of left. It wasn't fun anymore. It was more of just a nuisance, making myself. And then when I was there, because of that, I couldn't force myself to really go 100% and train the way I needed to be facing the level of competitions that I was going against, and it was just just lost the fun in it.
Now, since then, have you changed training partners or teams at all, or is it just it's the same people, just the different feel being in bare knuckle now?
No, I went ahead and I switched camps completely. Now I'm at a place called Iron Covenant Boxing. It's just a strictly boxing.
Okay.
So I felt like for that, learning, because I found out quick that like I was speaking of earlier, that it's just not a difference between boxing striking and what you'll learn striking in Muay Thai. So when that reality, I seeked out a place and went there to try to so I could get my full potential out of this and make a real like a real run at it, because I'm not here just to have fun. I'm here to show these guys what's up.
There you go. What do they say? The famous saying is, "What? We're not here to take part. We're here to take over." Right?
Right, that's right.
There you go. I love it. So, from the first fight that you had at the BKFC, and I believe it was Dimitri Angelini, correct?
That's right.
Okay, and he was debuting. You were debuting. The difference in competition from Angelini to Bobby Taylor, who you'll be facing next week, August 20th, down in Biloxi for BKFC 20. What's your difference aspects or looks into the different athletes that you fought and now are ahead of you right now?
Uh, Angelini was incredibly seasoned. He was a very skilled fighter. In my opinion, was going to be a very very tough fight. Um, After such a long layoff, and I almost didn't take that fight because of that mindset. But at the end of the day, I was like, man, got to do it. But with Bobby, I don't think he's going to be as skilled as Angelini, but he is going to be one of those, he's just tough, hard hitter. He's going to have, he's going to be in shape, and he's coming to fight. So he's going to be I feel like it's going to be a very gritty, in your face fight with this guy.
Well, he is 2-0. He's fought his first two fights in bare knuckle fighting championship was against two debuts. Your first fight was against the debut again. 2-0 versus 1-0. We're looking at potential ladder movements here in this fight. What do you think on that?
Man, that's what I'm hoping. Like I've already tried to move up the ladder as fast as I could, calling out Palomino. And now that they've signed Chad Mendez, let me welcome him, so hopefully this win puts me in that conversation to a top tier fight,
So now, and I'm not wanting you to kind of look ahead at all from Bobby Taylor, because this fight's right here. You're within a days away. But if there was somebody, obviously, like you said, you're calling out Palomino and some other names out there like Chad Mendez. Um, where do you see you get this win? Because your mindset is you're going to win regardless. You can never go into a fight, obviously, thinking that you have any doubt that you're going to win, or you shouldn't step in there. begin with.
Right.
So as you're thinking about after this win, which I think would give you into the top tier, being 2-0, beating a 2-0 seasoned bare knuckle fighter, who do you think you would step into next if you had your pick, I guess? Best
Uh,
scenario, I should say, not your pick, because that sounds cheesy.
well, best scenario for me, I think, would be Chad. Uh, him being they've already said they had someone in mind. I'm not sure who. They've not released that yet, and they've made it clear that if he wins, he gets the title shot, whether that be Palomino or Dat, the winner of that fight. So I think best case scenario it would be Chad. You know, being the name he brings, so he's already going to get that recognition, and bringing him in against someone is just 2-0 with an extensive MMA background as itself. I think that would be a great fight because we already have very similar styles. I think it would be a great matchup. Not only for myself, but for the for the fans. I think it'd be fireworks.
Wow, I think that'd be a hell of a fight for sure. I mean, just watching, if you go to YouTube, go to his page, guys, watch Bam Bam's fights, and he's telling you right there, him and Mendez would be a great fight. Now, again, I don't want it to get your mindset going any farther than Bobby Taylor, which is your opponent ahead of you just in merely days from now. So let's kind of kick it back real quick because I don't want to get too far off. Is there anything that you can see from Bobby Taylor being a threat to your game style, to your fight? Obviously, his knuckles, and then that's anybody's. But
Yeah, no, not really. I think he doesn't have very good speed. I think he's slow. Now they say he hits hard. That's hard to measure. He did have the first knockout in his debut fight. But I didn't see anything real impressive. I think he's just a brawler that tough. I think it's gonna be hard to finish him, but I think I hit harder. I think I'm faster. Tougher. I think all around I'm just a step ahead of him.
well, so do you have kids that have watched you through your career?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so what do your kids think about you making that transition from what you were doing to what you're doing now?
Oh, my daughter loves it. My daughter, she loves it, and she's 13, and she loves letting her friends know, yeah, that my dad's a bare knuckle fighter. She gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, I get it. My daughter's 12 going on 20.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
as you know, I'm sure at home as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh.
is there anything that you plan on bringing to bare knuckle fighting in general that people may not have seen yet from you, may not have seen a lot from anybody else? What is key? What is the uniqueness about Bam Bam?
Uh, just I mean, I can't say that it's nothing that they haven't seen before, but I come to finish every fight. Even in my MMA career, my one of the main things I was known for is putting on exciting fights. So I'm coming in there, and I'm bringing it. It's gonna be a war. So I mean, somebody's getting knocked out, or it's dead. If not, it's definitely gonna be the fight of the night because it's coming. And it's gonna be exciting, high paced, and I'm coming to put it into the show as quickly as possible. Make it that quick money.
Well, yeah, make that quick money, make it an in quick. Then you might be able to get that Chad Mendez fight because obviously they're all talking about October. So we got to make sure that no suspensions are given from the athletic commission, so you're able to get back in there at that time. And I believe that's Arizona. Do you see any problems with guys like Chad Mendez, like they're talking Diego Sanchez, like others that have made the jump from the UFC and Bellator to bare knuckle? Do you see any issues with those types of fighters making debuts in BKFC or any other organization that's bare knuckle, as far as detrimental to themselves, I should say?
No, not necessarily. Because those guys are warriors. You got Chad and Diego both. I think they both would do very well in bare knuckle. Um, so I think where the lines blur a little bit is like, how do you match those guys up? Because do you put them against a debut guy, or do you like give them title shots right out the gate? Top five opponents because of their background. That's kind of where the lines blur a little bit. But I think they're good for the sport. I think it's good for them as well.
Hmm. Now, how do you feel about pro boxers making their move from taking the gloves off to bare knuckle? I mean, obviously, boxers are, and nothing against MMA guys at all, because they've been training several different techniques. A boxer, on the other hand, is training more so the same as bare knuckle. However, it's a little different when you're throwing flurries with gloves on to trying to throw flurries with gloves off and catching something that you shouldn't catch with your knuckles compared to when you catch it with the glove. You're kind of saving your knuckles in that way. 'Cause when you hit your bare knuckles to somebody's elbow after that fourth shot that you're throwing, it's going to
Yeah.
hurt. So what do you think as far as the boxing world making its move over to bare knuckle?
Uh, I honestly think they will do better than maybe a MMA guy would, just because they already have that skill set of what you can and can't do, as far as when getting someone with strictly striking hand wise. But there are going to be some negatives because of like the clinch. They're going to have to adapt to that, and what also works for them can work against them, as far as if you're used to fighting top tier skilled boxers, and then you go in there with MMA fighters, kind of like the Connor Floyd situation.
Was that a boxing match?
Eh,
I see the look on your face when I asked that. Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page with that one.
yeah, but you know you have that, but there was situations in that fight that Connor was able to shine and land a punch here or two, just because of the awkward styles that a boxer's not used to seeing,
Right.
and getting caught bare knuckle one of those could potentially end a fight. So it's kind of like they got things working for them and things working against them. But as far as them coming over, I think it's a good move. Uh, for those who want, to further their career in that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha. All right. The time has come, sir. It's called Rapid Knockout. It's a segment that I take every one of my guests through. This is your first time, so you're getting 5 questions that have absolutely nothing to do with the fight world. You can elaborate as much as you would like on some of these answers. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First question.
All right.
Favorite food?
Oh man, that is
Here's where the hard questions come in.
yeah, that is tough, because I love food. I love food. I will have to go with probably man, pizza. I guess, yeah, pizza would be number one, as far as like when I'm just all out fat boy.
Vegging out, right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you put on your pizzas? Are you a supreme guy? Are you just a cheese guy? Are you pepperoni sauces? What do you like?
Oh man, I do. I go with chicken, bacon, pineapple, and ham.
Oh man, that's a
Yeah.
hell of a combination. I've had the bacon and ham and pineapple, but I've never had the chicken with it. That's
Oh yeah. It takes to the next level, boy. You gotta try it.
I'm gonna have to now. Definitely. Question number 2. Whether it be a genre or an individual artist or a group, What is on Bam Bam's playlist that gets played out most?
Oh man, I have to go with Ryan Upchurch. He's probably my number one. Ryan Upchurch, Adam Calhoun, Strickle Jennings, kind of going along that route.
I should have known with the accent that you got, being from around the Carolinas,
Yeah.
that you were going to be nothing but country. I have nothing against it. It's not me. I've never been one to get into country music. Now, some of the newer stuff is more uppity, I should say. But the old school. My wife took my truck and took my dog, and that's all I heard. No offense, but
Well, see, a lot of those guys, they're country based for sure, but it's more of it's like a country rap.
yeah. Some of it's good, some of it's decent. Now there's other ones that's like, nah, that just don't mix together.
Yeah. There's a couple, like Colt Ford. I don't know how anybody listens to that guy's music, but
Well, I feel the
that's a
same
good
way with some of the hip hop nowadays too. It's like, what in the hell is that?
right? Yeah,
I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I had Tupac and Biggie and Wu-Tang and all that. I could get down with that. Nowadays, it's like, I can't do it.
yeah, the good old days. Yeah, things seem to be steadily declining in a lot of different areas these days.
Yeah. If only we could grab control of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Question number 3. Nothing to do with combat sports, nothing to do with fighting, training, anything like that. What does Bam Bam like to do as a hobby on his downtime?
Oh man, most of my downtime spent with my daughter. We get together, and we just head out and go places. Like last weekend, we went to a science center. The weekend before, we went to the Columbia Zoo. For that, the aquarium in Atlanta. We just go all over the place. She's a big animal person, science person, art, whatever she can get into. So most of my downtime's with her.
Brother, I swear, if we put our two daughters together, they would be like best friends
Yeah.
because literally she's a science nut. She plays basketball. We had to buy her 3 different pairs of shoes one season a couple years ago because she grew so damn fast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's an animal lover. She's definitely a dog lover. So yeah, I guarantee these two would be like besties. Isn't that what they say? Besties.
That's right. Yeah, we might make that happen sometime.
Hey, I'm down, brother. I'm down. That means me and you's got to get together and hang out.
Let's just do it.
All right. All right. Question number 4. If it had nothing to do with fighting, no combat sports in the world was ever happening, to participate or to watch, what's your go-to sport?
Oh, football for sure.
Let me guess. Clemson?
Nope.
Okay. Who's your team?
South Carolina.
Oh, the Gamecocks. Okay.
Yeah. We struggling, but we gonna get there one day.
That's all right. Hey, let me tell you who mine is. I'm 2.5 hours south of South Bend, Indiana, where the good old Golden Domers of Notre Dame are. I've been a lifelong fan. I've had family members go through school there and were cheerleaders and stuff. But man, does it hurt sometimes.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Ugh.
But yeah, football's my sport, man. Before, as a kid, man, I started playing football at 8 years old and played every year until I graduated high school. For the longest, I thought I was going to end up in the NFL until I realized, don't quite have that size, but I have a love for football for sure.
Yeah, I love football. I miss football. It's costing me a lot of pain and agony in my left knee, though. But it is what it. Yeah, I've had about 9 or 10 knee surgeries total on the left leg. So
Ooh.
yeah, when you're sitting there running down the practice field and you go to plant and the top part of your leg turns and the knee down stays planted, that's not a good thing.
Oh no, yeah, that'll ruin a day for sure.
Oh, it did. So, do you have a professional team? Are you a Panthers fan, or what do we got?
Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. All right,
Yeah,
you're the third person to tell me you're a Dolphins fan since my brothers went down to South Carolina. So, have you ever heard of Kiowa Island?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so it's about 25 miles south of Charleston.
Okay.
My family's went there for years. It's kind of like the summer getaway for the week. So my brother was down there. They were just down there in July. My brother's down there. He goes into the store, like on the island, general store. He walks by this guy. He kind of looks back at him. He goes, "Dan." Guy didn't hear him.
Yeah.
He goes, "Excuse me, sir. Is your name Dan?" He looked over and said, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I take a picture?" Well, turns out it was Dan Marino. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah. So what's your quarterback situation down there like right now? Who's gonna start?
I don't know, man. They're being kind of, iffy with Tua, and there's rumors going around that they're trying to get, that trade for Deshaun Watson.
That's what I've heard. And I'm a Philly fan, and I've also heard that Philadelphia is actually looking to trade, and then we got Hurts there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I heard the Eagles, Dolphins, and there was another team, and I heard that the Eagles were pretty much number one in line right now from what I heard last. But I don't know, man. I think we'd do well with Watson.
I bet you would.
Yeah,
But I think Philly would too.
everybody would.
Totally biased on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Fifth and final question. As growing up, whether it be on the personal side or the sports and entertainment side, who's your favorite role model?
Oh man. In the sports industry, I would have to say Ric Flair.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
like
sir,
it.
man. I grew up. My dad was, he was a wrestling fan, and so of course I followed suit, and that, Flair was our man. He was our go-to.
All right. Styling, profiling, right?
Popping bottles, kissing models, man.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So, would you say personal side, your dad, or do you got somebody else that you kind of
Yeah, my personal side would definitely, have to be my dad. He is what inspired me, especially for sports. Football and martial arts as well, man. He turned me on to, Bruce Lee and Van Damme and Seagal and, all those martial art movies back in the day, and that's where the love, originated. Little did I know then you could, make a career out of it, and do it, that it went further than just the movies, but that came on down the line. But yeah, he definitely played a big role in that.
So, would you say one of your favorite movies is Bloodsport?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I just had that vibe from you. I'm thinking, man, he mentioned Van Damme. Yeah, Bloodsport's probably up high on that one.
Yeah, man, Van Damme had some good ones back in the day.
Did you're a wrestling fan? So here's my question to another wrestling fan here. Looking at Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rob Van Dam, do they not look
Identical.
man?
Identical. How there's no relation there. It beats me, but yeah, they I've thought that for a while, that they had to be some type of relation there, but I've never heard anything.
I haven't either. And it's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
that is what it is. Ronnie Rogers, Bam Bam, thank you for coming on and joining me. Right now, the floor is yours to shout out any sponsors, friends, fans, haters, lovers, anything you'd like to. Now's your time.
Oh, I just want to thank, all my training partners. Robert, my boxing instructor, who also goes by Bam. We have this running joke that once you get both of the Bams together, it's unstoppable. So Iron Coveton, and I want to thank BKFC, man, for having me, giving me this opportunity, and Bobby Taylor as well, man. I appreciate you taking the fight, and I apologize in advance what I'm gonna have to do to you.
And on that note, that was wonderful to sound off right there. Ronnie Rogers, thank you again for spending some time here on Combat Zone. We'll like to have you back after your hand is raised, hopefully after next week. Check it out, BKFC 20, August 20th in Biloxi, Mississippi. And this has been Combat Zone. And for DaLion, I'm out. Peace.